What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be telling you 8 common mistakes you keep on making, and I'm going to tell you what you can do to stop this. So let's get straight in. Alright, so tip number 1 is placing traps on walls isn't going to work anymore, guys. Alright, in the earlier seasons you would have gotten it, but we're in double digits now, boys. We're in season 10. Alright, it's not going to cut it anymore. People easily avoid placing traps on walls, and this is why you should start placing your traps on the floor and on the roof, alright, because this is much more effective, because there are many ways you can kill people with this, and they can't escape because they're going to be in the box and they ain't escaping from that. So one way is, if the ramp is yours, you can place it on the roof, edit the ramp and edit it back really quickly, and bam, they can't survive unless you edit them underneath it. So you need to make sure that you edit it like where they're not standing underneath it, or sometimes it will not activate. So make sure you just try that, just to be on the safe side. And again, if you do not have the ramp and you're on the other side of it, place the trap on the floor and destroy the ramp. Alright, keep on destroying that ramp until you could possibly get it, or until they take it from you, and that will kill them, because they can't escape if it's on the roof or the floor. Where on the walls they can go to the other side and they can escape. Alright, so tip number 1, do not place your traps on walls. It won't work. Maybe on people who are newbie in that it may work, but prioritize on the roof and on the floor. Alright, tip number 2, window edits are a no. Window edits are so predictable, people are going to wait for that. Just do not do them. It always ends well. Everyone knows you're going to do for a window edit. Do not go for window edits in most situations. In some situations, yes, go for it, where maybe they're not expecting it, or they're a little newbie. You can usually tell before that. But I would go for either a right side corner or a bottom, either left or right bottom. Or you could ramp over as well. So this is where you sort of make the sort of L shape on any L shape on the on your edits on the wall, which opens up the little door, and you can go straight in. They won't expect it. You can come in from more than one angle. You know, they won't expect it. You know, edit it back, and bam. You can also, I would also recommend putting the ramp over them when you do this, so that they also don't expect that as well. Get the shot off, place the ramp, cover the wall back up, and then you've got the ramp, and you've got the, you could probably go for a window edit when you've got the ramp, and that window edit, ramp, bam, reset. Alright, but that is the better ways to do it. I would not go for window edits. People are, it's such a small space, they know the windows that you're going to come through. I would not recommend it. Definitely do the more like sort of right corners, bottom corners. Do some more unexpected plays like that, and that will promise you will get off with some cheeky little shots. Alright, tip number 3, don't land straight onto your loot. And what I mean by this is, when you go for loot, you try to land straight right on top of it. Do not do that in most situations, because in most situations there is always elevated land. What I mean by that is like a box or some sort of elevated structure that is right next to your loot. Because of this, you can actually land on the object and then glide or / walk straight down onto your weapon. It's much more effective and much more quicker. A lot of pro YouTubers do it, like Tfue. You'll see it in most of his streams and that and videos. He will land on the box or an elevated land to quickly get the item or weapon quicker, because gliding takes longer than landing and falling. So make sure, if you're looking around, be aware, be visual, and if you see elevated land, obviously don't go crazy elevated land. I mean like a wall maximum, probably not 2 walls, because I wouldn't do it at that point. Just like a wall maximum of height. Alright, tip number 4, and the mistake I'm sure a lot of you make, is overbuilding, limited mats, don't build too high, and fall damage. I'm sure they're all things you suffer from. Alright, Season 10 is about box fighting, so really, you don't really need to be building that high, alright? And also, you're limited on mats, especially if you're in an arena, alright? You cannot be overbuilding in arena. I cannot express that enough. Overbuilding in arena is a big no. You need max mat for the end game, alright? Do not waste them in early game build battles. You just get that extra loot and that extra kill, because it's a waste. They're going to burn through their mats. You're not going to gain mats from them. Limited mats. Box up instead. Boxing up or keeping the fight to a low. Do not 90 your way up to the sky limit, because that's a no. And if you do this, you're going to get full damage, right? it's not a good time for anyone. Do not overbuild, alright? If it comes to a fight when it's building, keep about 2 layers above your enemy. That is a good sort of height to be between him and not too low where he can easily take over you. And if they do, box up, alright? You gotta get good with your box fighting. If you're not good with box fighting, then there is no point, alright? You know, you might as well just give up, alright? Because box fighting, I mean, you probably won't even need to build to the sky limit, because 9 out of 10 people you come across box up and do not come out of that box because they don't know how to build, but they know how to box fight. And if you don't know how to box fight, then I suggest you learn. Not from my channel, because I don't have a video on box fighting. Tip number 5, have your shotgun out. And what I mean by this, while people are trying to break or replace your wall, have your shotgun out, alright? Always have your shotgun out in times like this, because while they're trying to break or replace your wall and that, you have the shotgun out, you can edit, they have to take their shotgun out, you can get a shot on by the time they've got it out, and then they take a shot at you, you've already got 2 shots on them in the time that they've taken to get their shotgun out, alright? Make sure you're always having your shotgun out, don't like have another gun out, always have the shotgun out, shotgun all the way, or your pickaxe, or don't, always be alert. If someone is trying to break or replace your wall, shotgun out all the time. Thank you very much. Let's move on to tip number 6. Tip number 6 is a good one. This is going to help you out 10 times more, and this is ADS with your shotgun more, alright? So ADSing, if you don't know what that means, it stands for aim down sight, alright? You want to aim down sight with your shotgun more, alright? Because I see so many people not aiming down with their shotgun, and it's not good, because aiming down with your shotgun is a smaller spread, meaning more damage, alright? Obviously, you know, you got to hit those shots, alright? But if you do, you're good at hitting your shots, good aim, smaller spread, more damage, alright? Obviously, do not ADS with your shotgun all the time. If you're in a close range fight, like one-on-one, both on ground and that, do not ADS in that, because you're going to limit your movement, and you want movement when you're coming to a fight like that. So what I mean with this, if someone's trying to break out of something, or they're rotating into storm and you're in zone, ADS with your shotgun. Then, if you've got high ground, ADS with your shotgun, alright? If you're in a very close quarter range and you need to be jumping around and that, do not ADS. Also, box fighting, sometimes ADS, if they're making window edits and that, I would say ADS, but if they're making other big edits that they can come straight through and jump around, probably not ADS. You could get away with it sometimes, but I'd probably still go for the sort of still movement, because movement is key. Most people are gonna one-shot you in the head with a pump if you are just standing there ADSing with your shotgun. So make sure, choose the right times, do what I said, because you do not want to be ADSing on the ground, alright? Make sure there is distance between you, you've got the height, they're rotating in. Make sure you use your smart plays and that. Don't go ADSing with every time. And make sure you actually take this in and do ADS. Maybe you don't ADS or you over ADS, alright? Find a nice sweet spot, alright? So, swiftly moving on to tip number 7. Alright. Tip number 7. Missing your shockwaves. Shockwaves are so useful in Season 10, and you do not want to be wasting them. So, what I mean by this is in build fights, you go up to someone's spamming their builds, and you want to shockwave in there, and you go flying out the other side, probably dying from full damage, right? You don't want to do that. So I'm going to tell you what you need to know here, and honestly, this is probably the best sort of tips I can give you. So, if you're going sideways, which means flat on the ground, and you're going sideways, this is not going vertical, this is going horizontal, we'll say that. So, horizontal, it can go through 3 blocks of builds, so that could be anything, just as long as it's 3 blocks to 3 grid blocks, it can go through all of that. And if you're going straight up with builds, so that could be a ramp and a roof, it can go through 4 like layers of build, 4 heights, and without, it can go 7 heights. So keep them in mind, keep those numbers in mind when you are using your shockwave. Judge where you are, obviously. Game sense, that comes into it quite a lot, especially if you're going to the horizontal one. You want to make sure you're using the right distance and not wasting your shockwaves, because honestly, I would probably just, you know, the mechs in Season 10, yeah, they're bad. And moving on to tip number 8, if you've made it this far, make sure you smash a like, guys, because getting all these tips together and you putting them into play is going to help you out a lot. So smashing the like, smashing subscribe, writing a comment down below, I'll make sure to read them, is going to help me. And make sure to support Create Good Wisey in the item shop. It's spelled W-I-S-Z-Y. It's more like Wizzy, but I call it Wisey because Wisey was taken. Alright, stop judging me, just use it. Okay, please, I'm not being rude. Alright, I'll raise my voice, I'm sorry. Okay, let's move on. Alright, so when to pull out your glider. Alright, and this is what I mean is gliding from a launch pad or gliding in the map normally. You want to get your big brain on and you want to look for the lowest ground possible, alright? Because you do not want to be landing, going around, say, you're in flat land, people are shooting at you, and you land on basically the highest part there, and you're in the air while all your teammates are lower down on the ground, alright? No. You want to make sure you're going straight for the lowest ground. So look around, look for the dip in the ground, and go for that. Especially with, say, around, like, mountains and that, you want to make sure you glide around mountains, use structures, trees, and that to glide around if you are in the air to find lower ground. Mountains and structures that cannot be broken, so basically just mountains, a great way to hide yourself when you're coming in and you're getting shot at. So just make sure you're aware of the ground, the sort of terrain nearby, and structures, say pre-build fights and that. Make sure you're aware of all of this, and you will not be in the air getting beamed out the sky. That's all the tips. Thank you guys so much for watching. Honestly, the support has been very well. I'm honestly very happy with how the channel's been. At the time of recording this, 20 subscribers, around 900 views. I'm very thankful for all the support, all the views. Thank you guys so much, and for subscribing, for viewing, for commenting, for liking, for everything, for all of that. And guys, I've been Wisecracker, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to support Create Good Wisey in the item shop for your next purchases and anything in the future. Make sure you refresh it after 14 days.